into the front. Tap, 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 tap. Again, go crazy with it. You can always cut more if you need to. Unfortunately, a lot of hairdressers cut too much, and then it's too late. One side's different to the other. We've made it different. So, being cautious with that. So what I've got now is I've got my bob line all the way through, and I work that from back to front. It's a very difficult way of doing it. There was a lot of things I had to watch out for then. It's quite a stressful way of doing it. And the reason why it's stressful, because you're starting here. Let's look at it this way. So when the client looks in the mirror, and I'm cutting the bob and I start in the back, they cannot see anything I'm doing. And for like 2 or 3 sections, I'm back here. I'm not in the front. But as soon as I start to move up, each section creeps forward. And I get to this point here in the side. Now my client can see where the length is. And literally 9 times out of 10, we're both disappointed because we started back here. You don't really know where to start back here to get it up here sometimes. So to kind of change that a little bit, make it a bit easier, it might be better to work from the front towards the back so that you get the length in, your client's immediately happy with it, and you're both not freaking out for a good 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So it's just changing how you think of things sometimes and changing how you go about them. We were taught years and years ago to start from the back towards the front. Now, how many times have you made a mistake doing that? Plenty, I would imagine. Now, if I work from the front here, you're going to see how simple it is. The first thing I need to do is I need to take a section that encompasses the entire hairline all the way through. So from here to here. I don't want any little surprises as I go through. So to do that, I'm going to section from the apex to the occipital. So from the apex to the exact same round in the back, the occipital. See how I got that curvature? It's all in the elbow. My elbow, I drop the elbow, and that will naturally create a curve. That's how an artist draws circles and curves. They use their elbow. If you use your wrist, that's like too complex. It will make many mistakes when trying to do that. So I utilize how my body moves to help me with the entire haircut. Section that away, and it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to oversaturate the hair with tons of water so that it pulls the hair down. If I was doing this on both sides, I would actually section off the first section on both sides, and I would put the front in on both sides to begin with so that I know the balance. But I'm only going to do this one side because we're doing opposing shapes. So it's the same principles. Combing the hair down, it has to live behind the cheekbone, that's the side. All the way through, I'm looking through and I'm looking to see that hair fall straight down. Add a little bit more water. So if you look at the hair now, the strands of hair, it looks like water coming down a waterfall. Just makes it so much easier to look at. And I start at the ear because if I start here, guys, that's the weakest point of this haircut. If I get that imperfect now, nothing else around it's going to jump on me. So therefore, I am in more control. So it's just how you think of it sometimes. I'm working smarter and not harder here. Move to my next bit. See, now I can see this and that. That's my meeting point. It's the same principles as any other bob that you do. Allow the hair to fall where it wants to fall. Just holding it in place with the comb. That's that, right? So look at this. That side, probably like 5 sections. This side, 2. 2-section bob. If she had a bit more density, it'd be a 3-section bob. So, you know, which one do you want to do? See, you have to work smarter with your time. We're going to layer this afterwards. So do you want to spend all day putting your bob in, or would you like to get that in quick and then layer it? Because you know you're going to layer it afterwards. So to me, it's this way. Get it in quick, and now I can go in and work with the layers. So let's just finish this off. Comb it into place. There we go. So again, looking at the visual, what do the roots look like? Make sure that gravity's pulling it straight down. Tap, 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 tap above, below, wherever to loosen any excess tension. Move to the next bit. See, now once it's in place, I don't comb from the root down, I go below the round of the head. And again, I have more control. This would be the same way if I was working on an actual person too. Obviously, an actual person would have shoulders and stuff. All right, then we have the outline. So that's me putting in a length. All right, so now checking the balance of this. I'm not a person that does this. I don't really pull the hair to feel the balance. I look at it. So I'm looking in the mirror, I can tell the front on this is a little bit longer. I don't have to pull the hair to do that. Again, you want to visually look for balance, you don't want to feel it, because you don't walk around all day holding it. It has to look right without you involved. So that's how you're going to see it. If I'm walking down the aisle in the grocery store, I don't walk up to the person and measure their hair. I can see if it's uneven when they're walking towards me. If I watch the news, I can see the newscaster's layers are uneven. I don't climb inside the TV and then measure those layers. All right? I have to look at it. So stand back and have a look at the balance. And I can see that this is a little bit heavier. So I'm going to come through and I'm going to kind of take that up a little bit. So again, behind the cheekbone. And there it is. Without pulling on it.